What's happening, guys? I got more hotspot footage here in Hara Dunes. I got a little special thing here too as well. This is the shotgun 870 gameplay, and I actually go 11-2, which is really difficult. The reason by doing that, I thought the shotgun was going to be easier than the pistol. I was wrong. This thing is super hard to do. If you're gonna go shotgun, I recommend right now, out of the blue, recommend the AA-12. The 870 is really tough to use, but if mastered right, very deadly. As you see in this gameplay, if I, maneuver around quite well, I will get a ton of kills. Certain things in this game I don't do as I should have, but I do end up being quite deadly with this gun. So as you see here is that the class right now is actually pretty fast. That's pretty much the best part about this class, is that using the 870 you have more movability than the 812. 812 is very slow action, so using that gun is really tough as well, but it has more range and damage. The downside of this gun is the range is terrible. You really got to get point blank right in their face to actually kill the guy. Usually your reticle has to be red to even do any damage to them, and to get really that close to these guys is tough, especially if you're going to charge ahead of them. The best thing to do is maneuver and play smart. You're gonna have to do a little bit of camping. A lot of people aren't fond about that, but in order to actually successfully do well with this gun, you have to hide around a corner, wait for them to come at you. You can't just run around a corner and run to them and get kills. That's not really how this gun operates. So having the the patience is key. I don't have that kind of patience, so this gun was a little harder for me to use than some other weapons. Another downside is the reloading. As you just saw there, your first reloading is into the chamber, so you have a maximum 4 shots versus 3 shots. That's due to the tube is very short. The downside for that is if you have to reload quick enough, you can't pop off that shot as fast, and if you want to kill the guy, usually after you put the round in, you can actually fire the gun again. So when you put that round into the gun, you can fire it, but then you have to do that long round again. So it's always better to just use the full reload time as your advantage, and then go back into the fight, get the kill. That's the upside with the AA-12, is it's clip fed and has a little more ammo into the magazine. I think it's like 6 shots, 8 shots. I'm not totally sure on the count of the ammo in there, but it is more efficient with the reloading time and also with your shots. Now another upside to this is you have a reflex sight already on the gun. This helps a ton, but also disadvantages you quite a bit. The gun itself doesn't really need a sight. It is very easy to hit fire and pop up a shot real fast at a close range. The upside to having the sight though is you're more precision, but it requires you to be a little more campish than it is to be more of an aggressive player. I myself am an aggressive player, so as you see in this, I don't use the reflex sight that much often. For players who are more defensive, it kind of can count to your advantage. Another thing about doing is make sure you are always moving around. If you're going to play an aggressive, make sure you check the buildings, get up around there. If you're playing defensive, make sure you're always hiding behind a barrier of some sort, and keep an eye out. If you see a guy, run back the other way, and then wait for him, and then when he gets close enough, pop out and use that one shot advantage to your liking. And that's what's great about this gun, is that you can get him one shot. I missed the first shot as you saw, but one shot at the point blank range is very deadly. Especially if you get behind a group of 4 players. Since you have 4 shots, you can get 4 kills just like that easily. Now, downside to using, like I said, another downside, I'm just going back and forth between upsides and downsides. Another downside is that the range itself, since it's very short and all that stuff, you have to take more time to get to the enemies, which can result to you in a less score, less KD, and also it makes you play a little bit smarter, which can result in lower overall stats. Some people are really big into their stats, and so this gun might not be good for you. For me as well, I like using all these new weapons, and if you're new to trying new weapons, and if you want to just experience something cool and also something that's very skill like, is to use this weapon. Most people would assume the 870 isn't very skill like, but having it out the entire game is very much so, because it's a super close range weapon and a secondary. It requires more skill. So some people might beg to differ to me, but for the majority, I believe it is the tougher weapon to use as of a primary weapon such as the AA-12. Now I'm still going to show you I'm still going to make a video of an AA-12 just to show you what it's like, and that gun should actually be a little more I guess exciting to watch because you have range, you have a higher magazine capacity, and you also have the ability to the Juggernaut. Man, my words are going all over the place. The Juggernaut, I can't speak. Juggernaut, whatever, shield type deal. Excuse me there. And which can use to your advantage and all that stuff. So this one, you really don't have much protection, and to get behind him, it's all like that. And so what I recommend is use this if you're going to play defensive, not aggressive. Aggressive, I recommend using the A12 versus over this. But if you have the, I guess, skill ability to do as well as with this gun as an aggressive stance or style, then go ahead. Powers to you. Because this gun is very fun, and I do recommend using that. But pretty much prefer defensive style. And yeah, guys, enjoy the rest of the gameplay here. I hope you enjoy it. And the scoreboard's at the end. I'll see you later. Peace.